I don't dress at all. You can interrogate me with torture, nigga. I won't confess at all. I'll just keep on crying, keep on sobbing. Ask me any question, my head'll keep on popping. You'll think I'm saying yes for the first few seconds, till you realize I'm in my own world, thinking of your girl naked. Shit. Fuck you niggas. I'm a federal nightmare. I'm a small motherfucker who ain't scared and who don't fight fair. Shit. So if you want to make me a motherfucking martyr, do what you gotta do. Bitch nigga starter. Huh. What's happening, Puff? I'll be back to you if JD ain't had enough. Yeah? Jermaine Dupri, king of the pedophiles, if you ask me, baby. Shit. Jermaine Dupri, small as a child. If I was fucking Janet, she'd already have a child. If I was fucking your bitch, she'd have a permanent smile. I'm a real G, nigga. I got permanent style. Shit. I don't fuck with you fuck faces. You grown ass niggas with gap teeth that need braces. Fucking rappers with hairlines. They gon' fuck with me and try to compare lines. Just meet me somewhere, nigga, let's compare mine. I mean, let's go somewhere and compare nines. Shit, you fucking with Katt. It ain't my fucking fault you ain't visit the brat. Huh? Nigga, you should visit a Gap. Nah. I'm fucked up for even mentioning it.
Chris Kelly, one half of the famous rap duo Criss Cross, died yesterday. The 34-year-old was found unresponsive in his house in southwest Fulton County. Kelly was rushed to Atlanta Medical Center, where he was pronounced dead a few hours later. Fulton County police say it appears to be a drug overdose. An autopsy is scheduled. Criss Cross's most famous song, Jump, was released in 1992.
Well, thanks for that softball question. It's two answers. First of all, let's be very, very clear. It is possible that there isn't anything funnier than a guy in a dress. And if that's the case, then it might also be said that there's nothing funnier than a black guy in a dress. Okay, well, I watched all of my friends throughout my entire life be able to dunk a basketball, but not me. So everybody can't do everything. So, you know, some of us make choices. I think it's not a biggest choice for others. I'm saying at the end of the day, Kevin doesn't have to worry about what people are going to say about him wearing a dress because of the long line of dress-wearing people before him. So now we had Big Mama's house 1, 2, and 3. Yeah. I've never seen Medea in a pantsuit. I think she wears dresses. So now I'm saying, why are we picking on poor little Kevin Hart? Because it was his turn next. Okay. Some of us are against the Illuminati, and we are against the Illuminati at our own detriment. When people are against the Illuminati, then they get punched in the face all the time. The press hates them, and nobody likes them. End quote.
I mean, we all love Dave Chappelle.
Exactly. Dave Chappelle has never been a part of the Illuminati. They don't want him or me or people like us. Yeah. But now it's not necessary for us to stir up that hornet's nest unless we intend to get stung 1,000,000 times. I didn't understand that. They had to sting me 1,000,000 times. Right. I'm still not going to join, but I respect it a little more.
All right. How do you handle that? Because they put your name in the press with a lot of rumors and a lot of situations that they try to put on Katt Williams. Do you feel ever the need to, like, I got to go defend this and put out a story about who I am, or do you just let that kind of like roll off your back when?
Well, as you can see, I've let it all go for quite some time, and a lot of that is just based upon the fact that I don't really know how to complain because all of the people that I ever looked up to had to go through it too. So I know how much they talked about Martin Luther King, and I know what they end up doing to him. I know this same story about Jesus and a few of my uncles. So now I know that if your mouth is really, really big and you try to tell the truth for a living and you like to air people out, hatred is coming your way. I didn't know it was going to be this type of hatred, but you know, I'm concrete in all things because of He who strengthens me. So that doesn't mean I always make the right decisions, but I am going to stand by what I stand for, and I'm only continuing to do it because I was looking for somebody who was doing it instead of me. And I just must have missed them, you know what I mean? So at some point you have to figure out what example are you trying to be. If it's just going to be you going to make it and live happily ever after and go off into the sunset, then that's what that is. Otherwise, you're on the front line of this battle. And those of us who understand that this is a part of what comes with it.
All right, last question. Scary Movie 5, April 12th. Everybody's going to go see that.
Went wrong when I put on that dress. Pre-Big Mamas, to me, actually that's like you have an AD, you say AD, BC. Okay. It's like BM for me. My career pre-BM.
So Big Mama was a changing point.
Yeah.
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 What made it a changing point? Was it that it was Martin, or just everything was aligning up at the right time for you?
It was a negative changing point, to be honest.
Okay.
Positive in a way where the perception of my image was on every bus, but my personal life was in shambles in that time. It was horrible. Not my wife, my daughter's mother, and from that time, it's like my life was just, it was hell from there. My personal life was in shambles, but my career, it was at its height, I believe. It was going.
It was kind of like a passing of the torch in a sense.
Yeah, it was. And I played Martin's son, and I feel like that. It's so weird. It's like every time I play these sons of people, it never goes right.
What didn't go right with Big Mamas?
It was, first of all, no offense, that movie wasn't that good to me. It wasn't a prolific film. I sound so mean, like, oh, you should be grateful for it. But I'm real. You know, you should be real. Like, it wasn't like the best movie. It was okay. It was an entertaining film. Number one, Big Mama's one. That's arguably like, okay, Miss Doubtfire was out, but the whole dress bit was already overdone. You know, it was like, it was hacky. You know, and I did it purely for the money and the work with Martin Lawrence.
Yeah.
So I didn't do it for the purity of comedy, but I did it for the purity of work with Martin. But I believe that it was still more than money. Like, dang, I'm gonna get a big check. You know. Yeah.
And knowing you now, and I'm gonna kind of set this question up. But in knowing you now, there's a more of an awakened Brandon compared to when he first came into the business. You mentioned the dress. There's a big conversation about that. Did you get like slack when you wore the dress at that moment?
It was like, wasn't slack from people. Only Katt Williams. Katt Williams was trying to always say, Brandon, don't wear a dress.
That is different than the fact that Martin and Jamie are really going to do Sinead and Wanda as a movie. You see, because once you do Sinead and Wanda as a movie, and we already have Big Mama's house, and we know Brandon T. Jackson, that nigga showed up with his dress. He was ready to be in 1 and 2. You just start wondering how many niggas really need to wear a dress. And why is it so important? And they tell you shit like, but it's funny, is it? I'm saying I don't have any hatred in my heart for Tyler Perry because he works hard. But he is a drag queen. Let's be very honest, a drag queen is somebody who works in drag. Do you know who Medea is, sir? That's a nigga in that dress, sir. That's not nobody's grandmama. And I pray to him every night. Every night I say, Jesus, if I have strayed from what you wanted me to do, that is not what I had planned for today.
That's right.
But Lord, if you see Satan, would you tell him I said he ain't shit? Fuck him in his dirty, stank, AIDS-infested asshole, Jesus. Would you tell him that? Would you tell him that when I see him, I spit in his face every time I see him? If he jump in another motherfucker, I want that motherfucker. Satan ain't shit. Atheist ain't shit. Satan ain't shit. Atheist ain't shit. Satan ain't shit. Faison ain't shit. Jamie Foxx ain't shit.
He called you, or is this?
No, he was saying it in the media, so I thought he was heckling me. He was really trying to help me at the time. I didn't know that. I was immature.
Right.
I feel like, dang, why I'm trying to make it. Why you bashing me? And then he was trying to warn me, you know, don't get in the dress. So the Awakened brand, and you couldn't pay him $1 trillion to get in the dress.
Yeah. Was there like how did they present that? Well, you knew right away you had to get in the dress.
I did the scene on lottery ticket.
Okay.
That scene on lottery ticket. After that, they were pushing his dress on me. It was something about that scene that touched a lot of people, and I think I was too real. I think they did the same thing like to Tupac. When you too real, they start looking at you like, hold on, how'd this slip past us? Who's this guy? You know what I mean? And then it's like, you know what? Yeah, he might be a kid. Just put him in the dress.
What do you think the dress is about? Is it to tone us down, to tone that realness down?
I think the dress, personally, is a thing that is not in our culture to do. And I think everybody will want to put their culture on us. And no, not to hate your culture or your God. Mm-hmm. If your God say you can put on a dress and your culture is normal for you, that you have the right as a human to choose that. But me, for my God and my culture, my ancient culture, we didn't do stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I was cursed by it. I believe it was a curse that went with that personally, because nothing went right since then. That's truthful. No one can tell me, hey man, you thinking too much, man. You sit down, man. Everything went wrong. Just like everything went right. Everything went wrong when I put on that dress. I'm telling you, I lived it.
Is there any like
even with Martin, things went wrong when he did it too. Because Martin is very anointed. Martin is a very strong man. And Dave Chappelle said that too. He says things about that too. And something, if you look at Martin's Arsenio Hall interviews, you look at him now, something's changed. You know?
Yeah, well, Martin, I noticed that too.
It's not a shot, but something's changed.
No, he definitely had like a lot of fire behind a lot of energy. He's got
similar to me.
He's gotten older, but I don't think he's gotten that old.
Eddie Murphy's old. He still has a fire to him too. I don't think it's an age thing. Yeah. I mean, my dad has a fire. He's almost.
You think 70. Maybe it was more of the business that kind of it took so much out of him?
Honestly, I think it's a spiritual thing, but everyone has their own journey. Mm-hmm. I can't say what it is. I don't know. I think, for me, I can only speak for my journey. Once I put the dress on and I had that fire was put out. Yeah. And I only did it one time. So imagine doing it 3 times, 4 times. But then Tyler Perry did it. He got stronger. I don't know the rules. You know what I'm saying? This is what happened to me. I'm not here to knock another brother because that's their path. Yeah. That's one thing I don't do is knock my brothers because that's their path. But I'm saying my path, when I put on a dress, it came with a demon baby mama and a starter kit for hell. That's what happened to me. You haven't seen me since, to be honest.
Well, Chappelle's, I guess, the perfect person to discuss that. Mm-hmm. The fact of the matter is that in order to technically be sane, it requires that your belief system go along with everybody else's. And so that's why they put such a high modicum on labeling you as that, just in preparation for what you might later say.
Mm-hmm. Just because you're different, they always want to kind of put somebody into a box.
Well, right. That's the shallow end of it. On the deep end of it, They have an idea that there's a Messiah coming and they're not sure who it's going to be. They just know it should stick out. So they look every time something sticks out to make sure that's not it. They have an idea that there's a Messiah coming and they're not sure who it's going to be. They just know it should stick out. So they look every time something sticks out to make sure that's not it. Either way, genius is relative, and it's generally better served once you're gone.
Right.
So the geniuses that we all agree upon, that's not exactly what they were viewed as
Right.
at the time. There's no way for the guy outside with a kite with keys on it trying to get struck intentionally by lightning.
Yeah.
There's no way for him not to be crazy in the current.
See, what I'm saying is, in business, nothing is coincidental, or you would be hearing who's losing money. In all of these situations, it's only the artist that's losing. Somebody makes big money. When these rappers get killed, not incidental. Somebody made $100 million and now don't have to talk to that artist or none of their crew, don't have to validate none of their contracts. Now only got to deal with the mama, only got to see her once a year, and it's over. And the money goes up and up and up. So they killed this $20 million guy, but they reaped $60 million in benefits.
Wow.
And they had some people from your city do it.
Wow.
And they had some people from your city do it.
Wow.
I'm saying there's the good side and the bad side of these businesses, and
but think about what you just think about what you just said. That's extremely thoughtful and powerful. It could only be what it was if it were those two. Those two, yes. Will Smith and Chris Rock. It could only be what it has been with those two black men.
If you put any other names together, the police are out on stage, they've cut to commercial, you didn't see what happened. By the time they come out, people have been removed. It goes on. It's certain ways things are handled when it's not intentional. When things go smoothly, but they seem chaotic, that means there was forethought and a plan.
When things go smoothly, but they seem chaotic, that means there was forethought and a plan.
Somebody, even if it looks like, Janet Jackson just had a wardrobe malfunction. Yeah, there's no such thing.
Correct.
I don't care who you blaming.
I believe that.
Somebody benefited. Yeah. So in all of these situations, there's a business involved and there's real money involved, and somebody's benefiting from this thing that looks like, oh, that just happened. Nah, no way. No way. It would be hard for a homeless guy to get into the Hollywood Bowl, let alone a homeless guy be able to rush the stage and actually